community, of course, is Andrew out there living his best life, climbing, scaling Mount Everest. He's been giving us updates through social media, and so it's an iterative process, right? Because you've got to try and get to the higher base camps. I guess there's 4 or 5 camps. I always forget. Anyways, but there's a number of base camps, and you got to sort of work your way up. If weather permits, then you can make an attempt at the summit. If it doesn't, then you've got to sort of move back to a lower camp because you can't stay forever at the higher camps. So, if you check out his Instagram post, for example, where he's putting the most recent information, you can see that he's back up to this Everest base camp. And there you go. He's posted on the rocket, 5,364 meters. So, and he's just waving from the rock. So there you go. But yeah, so, and I was reading, this is actually the post that I was reading, Carlos. Thank you for that. So he's going back up to C2, C3, so Camp 2, Camp 3, for, you got to stay acclimatized at the thinner oxygen levels and then make a push if the weather allows. It's really weather dependent as whether you can make a try for the summit. And Everest, of course, is very, very tight. I think there's May, June are the only 2 months, to my understanding, where people generally try for the summit because, you've got a very narrow weather window. So hopefully he'll have that opportunity and we'll be able to make the summit safely and back down, but he's representing Bearable Traders all the time he's up there. So check him out on Instagram, check him out on Twitter, and you can stay on top of what he's doing. He's posting the LinkedIn and the Facebook, and for all us old people, you can go there. Otherwise, you can go to the other ones as well.
Hello, Bearable Traders. Welcome to the new recap for today. We had some really nice trading on quite a few stocks that were in play with the news on the CPI data. And I am Paras Jindwani with Brian, showcasing on what trades we did and what other trades opportunities that existed in the market today. So I traded RBLX. RBLX was a news or had a catalyst behind it due to earnings, and the thesis behind RBLX was it pulled back. It was actually gapping up on the earnings. It pulled back, and I was waiting for the volume. If you see the first 3 candles right here, the volume is literally like 50,000, 80,000 shares. But the volume on the fourth candle came with 30,000 shares. And that's where it gives you an indication on where the stock is going to move, what's the probability of the stock moving higher or lower. So with that, I used 37 as my hold area to go long, and as soon as it dropped below 37, I stopped out. But again, the volume came in on the tape, and that's where I went long, added, this is a tier 2 size, that was a tier 1 size, took a really nice partials, and then as soon as it pulled back, I added more, and then again continued to go higher. And then again, when it dropped back to the VWAP, I added back in to the position, capturing those really nice move on the upside. I kept adding as and when the stock was really high and was giving up bullish signals. And that's where you recycle your position or recycle your shares very efficiently, where you are holding a core position, but you keep recycling your shares and keep adding more at the right areas to capture the maximum move out of it. So I added more here. I added back in, looking for the break of this high of the day, and I cut my size as soon as it went below the VWAP, and then I stopped out with a small profit, final exit with a small profit right there. But overall, a really nice profitable trade on RBLX. I traded AMD also at the open, and now I couldn't capture the meat of the move on AMD with a very quick drop. So the thesis behind was that AMD opened really strong at the open. I went tier 1 size, tier 2 size. I did cut my size when it did not immediately move up, and then I was still holding tier 1 size, and then sold all of my position as and when it moved up. And then this was a bad drop, and I had a hard stop right here as I was trading RBLX, and it stopped me out at break even, and now it's actually went higher. So good trading on AMD, but this could have been an ad rather than being stopped out. So that's an AMD. I did scalp on Tesla in the chat room as well. Not really profitable ones, but small losses on the first trade. I shorted one side. This was the move that is happening right now. I was looking for that kind of a move here, and even here on the fourth attempt. So all the trades on the short side, shorted here, covered some, stopped out, shorted again, covered some, stopped out. There was a big buyer at 172.6 and covered, so shorted again, covered some, and now stopped out at break even. I tried one more time on the long side when the stock was holding 174 for the break of high of the day. As soon as it dropped 174, I stopped out. So and then last trade was this one. This was the move I was looking for, but it did not happen. As soon as it dropped, I covered some and then stopped out. And now the stock is moving, which I am not in there. Still a very profitable trade, a very profitable day on Tesla, AMD, and RBLX, but could have been a lot bigger and could have been a lot better trade. Clean day, but not one of those days. So, Brian, what did you do? Which one did you trade?
Yeah, my best trade, usually my first trade was the AMD trade that you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I liked AMD the way it was setting up. I was looking at a couple of different stocks that were gapping down, Twilio and Airbnb, but neither of them were sort of behaving. I was looking for rising double trades, but both of them were trading above the VWAP going into the open, so that negates that strategy. But I liked AMD. AMD was gapping up pretty significantly, and AMD has been strong on a daily. That's why it's always good to take a broader perspective as well. So I knew AMD was strong. It's been strong over the last 3 or 4 days, actually. So I was watching it. It started to break out, and that's when I got it long. It's just under 97 and just partialed all the way up through 97.50, and then it had that huge drop that stopped me out. So I've traded it a few times since. When I went through 99, I took a long again, thinking it was going to get to 100. Took some off at 99.94, because it's 100's a big number, and I wasn't sure if it was going to get there. And I'm glad I did. Glad I took a lot of it off there. So it's really pulled back, and the markets have really started to sell off here. So SPY's just gone red as I've been speaking. So anyway, overall, and then I had a few other trades that didn't work out well. Like I was trading Tesla with you, trying to scalp it. But also overall, not a bad day.
Awesome. Not a bad Wednesday, and with the CPI data, a lot of things were moving, but overall had a great day. Things have been a little volatile, so be careful when you're trading. But have a great rest of your day, and a lot of people in the chat room also had some really nice trades, obviously on the lot of stocks that were in play today. So thank you, and
a real super volatile day. So if you just look at the charts of the SPY and the Q, we've been all over the place. So
absolutely, perfect.
Okay.
So
Great.
Let's wrap it up.
And you, Paris, as always.
Thank you, Ben. Always, it's always amazing to hang out with you and trade with you. And keep it green. Thanks, everyone.